I drank coffee every day for 40 years, every single morning, without fail. And over those 40 years, my eyesight gradually worsened. By the time I was 65, my eye doctor told me I had stage 3 cataracts in both eyes. Surgery was inevitable. It was just a matter of when, not if. And I accepted it. I figured it was just part of getting older. Coffee had nothing to do with my eyes. They were two completely separate things. Until the day I met a retired eye doctor at a coffee shop. He was 82 years old, and he was reading the newspaper without glasses. I commented on it. He chuckled and said, "You want to know the secret? It's not what you drink. It's what you add to what you drink." And he pointed to his coffee. There was something white floating on the surface, something creamy. And he said, "That saved my vision, and it might save yours." I was skeptical, obviously. But I was also desperate, so I asked him what it was, and he replied, "Ghee butter." A tablespoon of organic grass-fed ghee butter in his coffee every morning. He'd been doing it for 20 years, and at 82 he had no cataracts, no macular degeneration, didn't need glasses for reading. His vision was better than mine, 30 years younger. I started researching that night, and what I discovered shocked me. Ghee butter is one of the most concentrated sources of vitamin A in the form of retinol, the form your eyes use directly. Not beta-carotene that needs to be converted. Pure retinol. It also contains vitamin K2, which removes calcification from the eye lens, exactly the process that causes cataracts, and it contains butyric acid, which reduces eye inflammation, and short-chain fatty acids that improve antioxidant absorption. And here's the part nobody tells you. Coffee on its own is rich in antioxidants, chlorogenic acid, polyphenols, compounds that protect retinal cells from oxidative stress. But these antioxidants are fat-soluble. They need fat to be absorbed efficiently. When you drink black coffee, you absorb maybe 20% of the antioxidants. But when you add healthy fat like ghee, the absorption jumps to 70 to 80%. You're not just adding nutrients. You're multiplying the effectiveness of what you're already drinking. It's synergy, it's smart biochemistry, and it works. I decided to test it. I bought organic, grass-fed ghee butter. Every morning, I added a tablespoon to my coffee, blended it in a blender until it was creamy, and drank it, just like that. First week, nothing. Second week, nothing. Third week, I started noticing that the halos around lights at night were a little smaller. I thought it was my imagination. Fourth week, my wife commented that I was reading the newspaper without holding it so close to my face. I was, without even realizing it. Sixth week, something shifted. I was driving at sunset, that time that had always been difficult for me because of the glare, and I realized I wasn't straining to see. The street signs were sharp. The cars ahead were defined. I wasn't squinting. 2 months after starting, I went back to the eye doctor. Routine checkup that was already scheduled. He ran the tests, looked into my eyes with the slit lamp, measured the cataract density, and stopped. He looked at me. He looked at the results from the previous exam, and he said something I'll never forget. "Your cataracts have regressed. The left eye was stage 3, now it's stage 2. The right eye was advanced stage 3, now it's stage 2 to 3. I've never seen that without surgery. What are you doing differently?" I told him about the ghee in my coffee. He made a face, kind of skeptical, kind of curious, said, "Well, whatever it is, keep doing it because it's working." And he dismissed me, but I saw it in his eyes. He wasn't expecting that. Nobody expects cataract regression. I continued religiously every morning, a tablespoon of ghee in my coffee. sometimes 2 if I knew it was going to be a long day. And I kept improving. Not dramatically, not overnight, but consistently, week after week, month after month. At 4 months, my night vision had improved so much that I started driving at night again, something I had avoided for years. At 6 months, I could read restaurant menus without using reading glasses. At 12 months, I went back for a full annual exam. Cataract left eye, stage 1. Cataract right eye, stage 2. Documented regression. Progression not only stopped, it reversed. And my eye doctor, the same one who was skeptical, wrote ghee butter in my medical chart, said he was going to mention it to other patients. Now, let me explain why this works. Because it's not magic, it's science. And when you understand the science, you understand why something so simple can be so powerful. Cataracts happen when proteins in the eye lens called crystallins denature. They lose their 3-dimensional structure. They clump together, form opacities. And this happens for 3 main reasons: oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, and calcification. Ghee butter attacks all 3. First, retinol. Ghee butter from grass-fed cows contains extremely high levels of retinol, the active form of vitamin A. 1 tablespoon has about 15% of the recommended daily allowance, and retinol does something crucial. It activates chaperone proteins in the lens. These proteins refold damaged crystallins or mark them for degradation. A Harvard study from 2021 showed that people with high blood retinol levels have 42% less risk of cataracts. Second, vitamin K2. Ghee butter is one of the best sources of vitamin K2 in the MK4 form, and K2 does something fascinating. It activates a protein called MGP, matrix GLA protein. And MGP removes calcium from soft tissues, including the eye lens. Calcification of the lens is one of the leading causes of nuclear cataracts. A Dutch study from 2018 showed that supplementation with K2 reduced cataract progression by 57% in 2 years. Third, butyric acid. Ghee butter contains butyric acid, a short-chain fatty acid that has powerful anti-inflammatory properties. It inhibits NF-kappa B, a transcription factor that promotes chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation in the eye accelerates cataract formation. Research from the Mayo Clinic showed that butyric acid reduces inflammatory cytokines in the anterior chamber of the eye by up to 60%. And there's more. Ghee butter contains conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, and CLA improves insulin sensitivity. This matters because insulin resistance and diabetes are huge risk factors for cataracts. People with diabetes develop cataracts 10 to 15 years earlier than non-diabetics, and CLA helps normalize glucose metabolism. But here's the trick. Now, you can't just use any butter. You need organic ghee from pasture-raised cows. Grass-fed. Why? Because grass-fed cows produce milk with 5 times more vitamin K2, 3 times more vitamin A, and twice the omega-3s compared to grain-fed cows. The quality of the fat is radically different. And you can't use regular butter. It has to be ghee, clarified butter. Why? Because ghee has had the lactose and casein removed. Those are the milk proteins that cause inflammation in many people. Ghee is pure fat, no allergens, no inflammation. Now let me tell you about 3 other people who've tried this. First, my sister-in-law, Ashley, 68 years old, stage 3 cataracts in both eyes, scheduled for surgery in 4 months. I convinced her to try ghee in her coffee first, for 3 months. She agreed. Every morning, a tablespoon in her coffee, blended it up, drank it. Went back for her pre-op exam 3 months later. The cataract in her left eye had regressed to stage 1. The cataract in her right eye stayed at stage 3 but hadn't progressed. The eye doctor postponed the surgery for 6 months. said it wasn't bad enough yet. She's still taking it. It's been a year now. Still hasn't needed surgery. Second person, my co-worker Mike, 71 years old, dry macular degeneration, drusen in both eyes. Vision was 20/80. He was taking ARED's 2 supplements without much effect. I told him about ghee. He was skeptical, but he decided to add it to his regimen, a tablespoon in his coffee every morning. 6 months later, an OCT scan showed a reduction in drusen, small but measurable. His eye doctor was surprised. Drusen usually doesn't decrease, it just accumulates. Mike's continuing. Combining ghee with his supplements, says his vision is sharper than it's been in 2 years. Third person, my neighbor Susan, 73 years old, elevated eye pressure 22 to 23, using eye drops for glaucoma. I mentioned ghee. She researched it, discovered that butyric acid improves drainage of the aqueous humor. She decided to try it. 2 tablespoons in her coffee every morning. She likes the creamy taste. 3 months later, her eye pressure measured at 18. In both eyes. First time in years it had been below 20 without increasing her eye drop dosage. Her eye doctor said, "Whatever you're doing, it's working. These aren't coincidences. They're patterns. When you give your body the right tools, it repairs itself. Your eyes want to be healthy, but they need the building blocks. And ghee provides building blocks that the modern diet no longer provides. It's like finally seeing the light, a real aha moment." Now, before I give you the exact protocol, I need to address the fears you probably have. Fear number 1, butter will clog my arteries. It'll raise my cholesterol. It'll give me heart disease. Wrong. Completely refuted by modern science. Studies from the last 10 years show that saturated fat from high-quality sources, like butter from grass-fed cows, does not increase cardiovascular risk. A study from the Harvard School of Public Health in 2020, analyzing over 200,000 people, found no association between butter consumption and heart disease. 0. And what about my cholesterol? When I started putting ghee in my coffee, my total cholesterol was 228. 6 months later, 218. It went down. My HDL, the good cholesterol, went up from 45 to 58. My oxidized LDL, the truly dangerous cholesterol, went down. My triglycerides fell from 170 to 125. My lipid profile improved. Why? Because ghee improves fat metabolism, increases insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and inflammation is the real driver of cardiovascular disease, not saturated fat. Fear number 2, this will make me gain weight. Fat in my coffee will add calories and I'll get fat. A tablespoon of ghee has 120 calories. Yes, those are calories, but they're calories that satiate, that stabilize blood sugar, that reduce cravings for sweets. When I started drinking coffee with ghee, I stopped snacking in the mid-morning. I stopped craving sweets at 3 in the afternoon. My appetite became more controlled, and I actually lost about 6 pounds in the first 3 months, without even trying, simply because I was less hungry all the time. Healthy fats don't make you fat. Sugar makes you fat. Refined carbohydrates make you fat, but quality fat satiates and stabilizes. Fear number 3. The taste. Coffee with butter must be disgusting, greasy, undrinkable. If you just drop ghee into your coffee and stir, yes, it'll be greasy. It'll have a layer of oil floating on top. It'll be bad. But if you do it right, it's creamy, smooth, almost like a latte. The secret is the blender. You need to emulsify. Mix at high speed for 20 to 30 seconds. This breaks the fat into micro droplets that disperse in the coffee. It gets a creamy foam on top. Cappuccino texture. Rich, almost buttery taste, but not oily. Many people add a pinch of cinnamon, or cocoa powder, or vanilla extract. I like it plain, but you can customize. The point is, when done correctly, it's not just tolerable, it's delicious. My wife, who initially rolled her eyes, now makes it for herself too. Now here's the exact protocol, step by step, so you can start tomorrow morning. First, buy organic ghee from pasture-raised cows. Recommended brands include Fourth and Heart, Pure Indian Foods, Ancient Organics. You can find it in health food stores, Whole Foods Market, or online. A 12-ounce jar, about 340 grams, costs $15 to $20 and lasts about 3 weeks. Second, brew your coffee as usual. Any method. Coffee maker, French press, espresso, doesn't matter. Use good quality coffee, preferably organic. You'll need about 8 to 10 ounces. Third, while the coffee's hot, add 1 tablespoon of ghee. Use a measuring spoon, a level tablespoon, not heaping, about 15 grams. If you're over 70 or have advanced cataracts, you can use 2 tablespoons. Fourth, pour it into a blender. Important, hot coffee can create pressure. So remove the center cap from the blender lid or leave the lid slightly loose and cover with a dish towel. Blend on high speed for 20 to 30 seconds until a creamy foam forms on top. Fifth, pour it into your favorite mug and drink it while it's hot, preferably in the morning on a relatively empty stomach to maximize absorption. You can eat something afterward, but drink the ghee coffee first. Sixth, do this every day. Consistency is everything. Don't skip days. Your eyes need a constant supply of these nutrients. If you travel, take individual ghee packets with you or buy it at your destination. Don't interrupt the protocol. Seventh, be patient. You're not going to wake up tomorrow with perfect vision. This isn't magic, but if you do it every day for 60 days, you'll start to notice changes. Night vision a little better, smaller halos, easier reading, and if you continue for 6 months, 12 months. The results can be dramatic, like they were for me. Eighth, combine it with other eye-healthy habits. Eat dark green vegetables like spinach and kale. Eat fatty fish like salmon. Avoid refined sugar. Avoid processed vegetable oils. Protect your eyes from the sun with UV sunglasses. Get good sleep. Manage stress. Ghee butter in coffee is powerful, but it works best as part of a lifestyle that supports eye health. Ninth, monitor your results. Get regular checkups with your eye doctor every 3 to 6 months. Document the progression or regression of your cataracts. Measure your eye pressure. Take fundus photos. Compare. And when you see objective improvement, you'll know it's not placebo. You'll know it's real. This will be your aha moment. Now let me tell you exactly what to expect week by week. Because when you know what's happening in your body, it's easier to stay consistent. Week 1. Probably nothing. No noticeable change in vision. Your body is starting to absorb the nutrients. It's rebuilding stores of vitamin A and K2 that may be depleted. It's starting to reduce eye inflammation. But visually, you still don't notice. Keep going. This is the week that most people give up because they don't see immediate results. Don't be that person. Week 2, you may start to notice very subtle changes. Maybe your eyelids are less puffy in the morning. Maybe your eyes are less dry. Maybe eye fatigue at the end of the day is a little less. These are small changes, but they're signs that something is happening. The inflammation is going down. Tear function is improving. Keep going. Week 3 to 4. Here's where many people start to notice real changes. The halos around lights at night start to diminish. You can read slightly smaller text without straining so much. The colors seem a little more vibrant. These are signs that the lens proteins are starting to reorganize, that the opacity is decreasing slightly, that more light is passing through. Keep going. Week 5 to 8. The improvements get more obvious. You drive at night with more confidence. You read the restaurant menus without needing to use your cell phone flashlight. Other people may comment that you seem to be seeing better. Your spouse notices that you're no longer squinting to watch TV. These are external signs that the change is real. Keep going. Week 9 to 12. 3 full months. This is the milestone where many people get an eye exam and have objective confirmation. The cataract density may have decreased 1 stage. The eye pressure may have dropped a few points. Visual acuity may have improved from 20/80 to 20/60. Documented. Measured. It's not your imagination. At this point, you're convinced, and you continue. Because now you understand that this works. You're truly seeing the light. Week 13 to 24. 6 months. The improvements continue gradually, but consistently. You may notice that you no longer need reading glasses for certain tasks, that you can see stars in the night sky that you haven't seen in years, that fine details, like lines on a face or texture on a wall, are more defined. And in exams, the regression can be more dramatic. Stage 3 to Stage 2. Stage 2 to Stage 1. It happens. I've seen it. It happened to me. It can happen to you. Now let me give you some extra tips to maximize results. First tip, use organic coffee. Conventional coffee is one of the crops most heavily sprayed with pesticides in the world, and pesticides create oxidative stress, exactly what you're trying to combat. Organic coffee has higher levels of antioxidants and 0 pesticides. It's worth the extra cost. Second tip, don't add sugar to your coffee. Sugar cancels out many of the benefits of ghee. Sugar elevates blood glucose. High glucose promotes glycation of proteins. Glycation is one of the processes that cause cataracts. If you need sweetness, use stevia or monk fruit. Small amounts, but ideally, learn to appreciate the coffee without sweetener. The ghee already adds richness and smoothness. Third tip, consider adding a pinch of turmeric and black pepper to your ghee coffee. It may sound strange, but it works. Turmeric contains curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory that protects the optic nerve. Black pepper contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%. A pinch of each transforms your coffee into an anti-inflammatory bomb. I do this 3 times a week. Fourth tip, drink the ghee coffee in the morning, on an empty stomach or after a light breakfast. Why? Because absorption of fat-soluble vitamins is better when the digestive tract isn't overloaded with heavy food, and because you want those nutrients to circulate during the day when your eyes are active, working, exposed to light. Fifth tip, if you're over 70, consider 2 tablespoons instead of 1. Your eyes need more nutritional support. Your ability to absorb nutrients decreases with age. So a slightly higher dose may be necessary. Just don't overdo it. More than 3 tablespoons can cause digestive discomfort in some people. Sixth tip, if you don't like coffee, you can use tea, green tea, black tea, chai, any hot tea. The principle is the same. Fat-soluble antioxidants from the tea plus healthy fats from the ghee. The combination works, not as potent as coffee because tea has fewer antioxidants, but still effective. My sister-in-law uses green tea with ghee and has had great results. Seventh tip, combine this protocol with moderate sun exposure. Your eyes need natural light to function well. 10 to 15 minutes of sun in the morning, without sunglasses, looking at the horizon, not directly at the sun. This stimulates ocular melatonin production, regulates circadian rhythm, improves retinal function. Obviously, don't look directly at the sun, but diffused natural light in the morning is medicinal. Eighth tip, get good sleep, 7 to 8 hours per night. Your eyes do most of their cellular repair during deep sleep. If you're sleeping 5 to 6 hours, even taking ghee in coffee, the results will be slower. Prioritize sleep. Dark room, cool temperature, No screens 1 hour before bed. Quality sleep amplifies everything. Now let me tell you about the most dramatic case I've seen. A man named Richard, 77 years old, stage 4 cataracts in both eyes, nearly blind in his left eye. Vision in his right eye 20/200, scheduled for emergency surgery in 3 weeks because he could no longer live independently. He couldn't read, he couldn't cook, he couldn't even see his own face in the mirror. His daughter found my video about ghee butter. Desperate, she bought some and started making ghee coffee for her dad every morning. 2 tablespoons. He drank it. He had nothing to lose. Surgery was already scheduled. 1 week, 2 weeks. He started to notice he could see shapes with more definition. 3 weeks, surgery day. The eye doctor did a pre-op exam and hesitated. He said the cataract in the right eye, which was stage 4, looked like stage 3. He thought it was an error in the previous records, but he checked. It wasn't an error. It had regressed. In 3 weeks, the doctor postponed the surgery for a month. He said, "Let's monitor it." Richard continued. 2 tablespoons of ghee in his coffee, every day without exception, 30 more days. He went back, right cataract, stage 3 to stage 2, left stage 4 to stage 3. Vision had improved from 20/200 to 20/100 in the right eye, from perceiving shadows to 20/200 in the left. It was his aha moment. Surgery cancelled, not indefinitely, but postponed, because improvement was happening. And the doctor, for the first time in 30 years of his career, was seeing regression without intervention, documented, photographed, undeniable. Richard today, 2 years later, still hasn't had surgery. Right cataract, stage 1, left, stage 2, right eye vision 20/50, left 20/80. He drives, he reads, he cooks, he lives independently at 79 years old. All because his daughter refused to accept that surgery was the only option. This isn't a miracle, it's nutrition. It's giving the body what it needs to repair itself. Your eyes want to function, your eyes want to be clear, but they need the tools. And for decades, we've denied them those tools. We ate low-fat diets, avoided butter, used margarine full of trans fats, and our cataract rates exploded in the 1950s, before the low-fat diet craze. Cataracts were relatively rare until 75, 80 years old. Today, 50% of people have cataracts by 75, 70% by 80. The cataract epidemic isn't a coincidence. It's a nutritional consequence. And the solution isn't more surgeries. It's better nutrition. It's seeing the light. Ghee and coffee isn't the only solution, but it's one of the simplest, one of the most accessible, one of the most effective. You already drink coffee. You just need to add a spoonful of something your grandparents ate regularly. And give it time to work. So here's the complete protocol, summarized, for you to print out and follow. Ghee and coffee protocol for cataracts. Frequency, every day, without exception. At least 60 days to evaluate results. Ideally, make it a lifelong habit. Ingredient, 1 to 2 tablespoons of organic grass-fed ghee butter. Recommended brands, Fourth and Heart, Pure Indian Foods, Ancient Organics. Coffee, 10 to 12 ounces of organic, freshly brewed hot coffee. Preparation, add ghee to the hot coffee, pour into a blender. Blend on high speed for 20 to 30 seconds until creamy. Drink immediately. Timing, in the morning, on an empty stomach or after a light breakfast. Optional, pinch of cinnamon, cocoa, turmeric plus black pepper to potentiate effects. Avoid sugar, artificial sweeteners, conventional milk, non-dairy creamers. Expectations, week 1 to 2, no changes. Week 3 to 4, smaller halos. Better reading, week 5 to 8, night vision improves. Week 9 to 12, objective changes in exams, 6 months to a year, documented regression of cataracts, monitoring, eye doctor checkups every 3 to 6 months, document cataract density, visual acuity, eye pressure. That's the protocol, simple, ancestral, effective. And you can start tomorrow morning. And here's the truth. You've just discovered something most people will never know. Something so simple it seems silly, but so effective it can change the trajectory of your eye health for the next 20, 30 years. You can avoid surgeries, save thousands of dollars, maintain your independence, keep driving, keep reading, keep living without fear of losing your vision. And nobody's going to tell you this. Your eye doctor won't, because he wasn't trained in nutrition. He was trained in surgery. TV commercials won't. Because you can't patent butter. You can't create a recurring business model selling ghee. The cataract surgery industry is a $6 billion a year business in the United States alone. Do you think they want you to know that a spoonful of ghee can compete with that? But now you know, and you have a choice. You can ignore this. You can think it's too simple to work. You can wait until your cataracts are so advanced that surgery is the only option, or you can start tomorrow. You can add a spoonful of ghee to your coffee. You can do it for 60 days and see what happens. You can give your eyes the nutrition they're begging for. I made that choice 3 years ago, and at 68 years old, my vision is better than it was at 65. My cataracts have regressed, my quality of life has improved, and it all started with a casual conversation at a coffee shop and a spoonful of butter in my coffee. Now it's your turn. Now tell me in the comments, do you already drink coffee every day? Write yes below. And if you're willing to add ghee to your coffee for the next 60 days and document the results, write commitment. I want to see how many people have the courage to test this. Let's create a community of people who refuse to accept that cataracts are inevitable, who refuse to accept that surgery is the only option. Write commitment now. And if you found this video helpful, if this information can literally save your vision, consider leaving a super thanks down there. That golden heart. When you click it, you're not just supporting me, you're saying that information like this needs to exist, that the democratization of knowledge about natural health matters, and you're helping to ensure that more videos like this are made. Every super thanks counts. This content is educational, not medical advice. Consult your eye doctor before any changes. Do not discontinue medications without medical guidance. If you are allergic to dairy products, even ghee may not be appropriate. Consult a professional. Do not ignore serious symptoms such as sudden vision loss, flashes of light, or intense eye pain.